for you to clear your debt? Well, I'm going to share with you the conscious and fastest way for you to do so. Have you ever just do this with me for 1 second? When you think about the debt that you currently have, do you actually feel that you can pay it off with ease? Feel into the quickest answer within the first 2 seconds. If there is a hesitation, it doesn't matter where you're at, be aware of it because this is going to help you clear it with ease. This video is going to take around 13 minutes that I recommend that you watch from beginning to end. And make sure that you follow me and you subscribe so that you get more notifications on this topic because I'm making a series of videos on it that is going to be really profitable for you. I also have a playlist for it, and I have my program called Auspicious Clear Your Debt Energy for Good. That is in the description below, in the summary below, and we are starting in like a week and a half. So I would love for you to join because it's a clearing program, it's an energy clearing program. So who am I? I'm Nicole Lisa, love coach, femininity coach, intuitive, psychic. I work with the angels of God. I am an intuitive and I do no funny business. I'm not doing witchcraft on people. I am simply channeling an information from Archangel Michael. And I've been doing this work for over 12 years. I've also helped people like reach certain levels of success because even though I'm a love coach, I've never been completely a dating coach. I've always helped people when it comes in the realms of consciousness and healing. So the work, when I say energy work, it's like pranic healing, channeling your prana, helping you release things. And today I'm going to talk to you about energy fields. I want to talk to you about the conscious way to clear your debt. The conscious way to clear your debt is by owning and recognizing what's within your energy field. In order for you to clear your debt, you got to take responsibility and really check in and tune in if you believe in angels, if you believe in energy, if you believe in Wi-Fi or data, phone data. You know that it exists. You know that there's a wide grid of energy that influences and that has power over our current technology. Well, you have that same power. And what does it consist of? You might think that it's just your subconscious with the thoughts that you have, um, but it also consists of your emotions, and your emotions actually have a bigger pull on your energy. Now, in the previous videos that I've addressed about that, I address a lot how codependent dynamics in family members, where a family member believes that you owe them. It's actually one of the significant ways in which you can accrue debt because you never grew up feeling safe, like you could own things. You always had a parent, a sibling feeling entitled to your shine, feeling entitled to your bliss, just entitled in overall, or they gave you this kind of like you're the savior of the family complex, or just in general, you felt so attacked by either friends or family that you felt bullied that you never felt safe to shine. That can be one of the principles of what's actually holding your frequency down. But today, I wanted to go deeper into the science of it all. I know I mentioned to you about consciousness and energy fields, and that's very important. One of the things that Archangel Michael is inviting me to discuss and to share with you is the awareness that you have to know that you have influence, okay? And if you come up from a background where you were oppressed, which is one of the reasons why I was addressing that I've worked with women for over 12 years, is because I've worked with women in extremely oppressed environments, women that have become successful even from growing up in suppressed environments. And this is important to the story and what I'm sharing with you is because I find that there's like two people in the world, right? Like I'm just generalizing, like people who've come from a lot of oppression, right? And there's people who haven't never experienced like that kind of oppression. And it's just seems things just seem to be easier for them. Okay. And you could get distracted by looking at the person who seems to have it all together. But when you start to look within, you start to feel a little bit queasy. Why is that? Because if you grew up with a lot of oppression in your background or your family's members had it, chances are that somewhere in time, your parents, your grandparents, your like forefathers could have developed a ominous type of energy. Hence why I'm addressing auspicious. What is ominous? A sense that something is going to go bad. This is where a lot of energy people can have the belief that good things don't happen to good people, or good people have to work really hard, but things aren't always fair. And when you start to have an ominous energy, you start to feel like things are not always going to be fair. You do not have that kind of influence. And then what starts to happen is that you forget your own energy field of influence or your power grid, as I like to call it. And then you start to look outside to determine what you can have. So in the current economy, when you have people pulling strings, narcissists try to make you feel like you have to fear that a bot is going to take over your job. They're trying to play with, I don't know, tariffs or whatever, or they're trying to do whatever the heck, right? They're trying to create all these fear or freak out points, and it makes you come out of yourself and feel like in order for you to adapt, you have to learn new technology, which is okay, but not to the absence of who you are or to the detriment of who you are, to the point that you have to fear that you as a human being are going to become obsolete. Okay. And so that's not necessary. That's creating terror in your field, but it's also siphoning you. So if this is resonating, make sure that you like and you comment and you share this with more people, because these are narcissistic tactics to make you feel like you need them. They create they disrupt you, and a lot of this disruption comes from, over 6 years ago when we all had to go into isolation. And I've noticed that I've even been in conversations with people who didn't express this, didn't experience this oppression, but now they've been kind of feeling it a little bit, because they will try to find ways to siphon you, siphon away your confidence, your influence, and make you feel like you don't have a say in what you attract. But, God, Archangel Michael, like your angels are telling you that you can, your higher self, that you can. Now, what is this adaptability that you do need to have? I call it joyful adaptability. Okay. If you're, and just stay with me here, okay? Because you are responsible of your energy field. And so basically, your parents could have had an ominous field where they felt like no matter what they did, things wouldn't work out with it. And it was fair. They experienced a lot of war, they experienced a lot of, a lot of sadness, a lot of grief, a lot of malignant energies. And this is the conundrum that I find for the conscious person, or like I hear like the enlightened person, if you believe in that, like I do. Like last year, the energy was all about enlightenment, filling up with your own light workers, empaths, highly sensitive people. You are very in tune with whatever, like I hear dark magic or dark energies or like evil people or people who just choose to do bad stuff are out there doing in the world. And you got to acknowledge it somewhere, like somewhere that energy can make you feel a little bit helpless. You might try to suppress it, but what I recommend is that you do is that you clear it. Okay. Because even if you don't have debt, or if you're worried about debt a lot, or you find yourself kind of like, because I've worked with a lot of people who are six figures business owners or more. And since that time in isolation, their energy started to dip. First, it just became too much for them. The nervous system had to adapt, level up, or upgrade. And this upgrade is necessary because currently, nowadays, these bots that we're filling up with energy and giving them all of our thoughts and our ideas and stuff like that can process data within seconds. But we like to process our emotions after we suppress them or we repress them years in the making. So that's part of our own soul's evolution, because what consists of your energy field when it comes to clearing your debt is a lot of emotion, a lot of helpless energy. That's why Archangel Michael was recommended for me to ask you at the beginning of this message, do you actually believe that you can clear your debt? Right? So all the top 3 stories, or 15 of them that come up within seconds of them, I invite you to clear them from your nervous system, because that takes away from your profitable energy, from your capability, from your influence, because it means that you feel that you are at effect. And that's why Archangel Michael is showing you that it all started, maybe you picking that up when you were 3 years old, picking it up from your parents, and then your parents from your parents. So, like from their parents. So it looks like you actually having positive thoughts and feelings, not just a conscious thought, but a real good feeling about what's possible and what's profitable. And what are some key ingredients or pillars that actually activate your magnetism and create an auspicious energy to attract it? Well, you got to have a positive energy about yourself, about God being your provider, not these narcissists that are trying to create fear tactics. And you got to have a good belief and a great belief about people. You need to have a belief where you want other people to profit. And to be quite frank, when you start a like, when you know about narcissists or toxic people, you can feel this dread where you start to feel like everybody's a narcissist. That doesn't profit you. Okay, then you got to have the belief that you can work with good people, and that good people want to work with you, and that you also have a choice of who you work with. Because sometimes you feel like, well, I don't have that choice. This is what's available in the market. Look, I've attracted opportunities when I used to work in corporate where nobody would get them. And it wasn't because I was cocky. I would go to the bathroom, I would do clearing work myself, like just helping. And what is clearing work? I'm here, I need to say it. It's basically helping your nervous system become adaptable again. Because what happens to your nervous system? It can get stuck or fixed on an identity, an identity about yourself, an identity about your possibilities, an identity on people, an identity on money, like an energy on money, an energy on possibilities, an energy on even artificial intelligence. It can get stuck in so many different things. Now, for you to be magnetic and for you to manifest great opportunities, regardless of any economy, you got to be first and foremost in your own power grid, in your own energy field, with a positive, auspicious energy, meaning you have positive beliefs about what is possible. And ultimately, what I want you to know about this is that you can't lie about your energy. Okay, we're never responsible for attracting abuse. I always make that clear because there's people that are unconscious and that want to harm. Yes, but if you are responsible, like, or like take full responsibility of allowing your self to create a safe space for yourself, you can do it. God is not like going to try to harm you. I don't know why I'm going here because I feel like I need to, like, I've been in spaces where people have tried to harm me and some of it has happened. But in that time when I was first starting to develop my intuition and my capacity to channel, I could sense that God was trying to warn me. And I've seen that for everybody that I've worked with. And that's actually one of the services that I offer, how to become like have uncanny intuition. So, if you are in your own power grid and not at the influence of people who try to harm you energetically, then you can profit. So that's the thing that I notice with highly sensitive people. It's like if you see all that negativity or that darkness, you can break. You fold. That's the word that I hear. But what you need to do is grow stronger in your capacity for influence. And that when you feel that somebody's trying to create fear or famine in your frequency, it doesn't bother you because you understand the frequency of true success, which is in being in positive relationship with God, with yourself, with money, and with other people. That's critical. So I invite you to look at your flows or what are your beliefs in all these areas and work on them. Identify within seconds don't doubt it, don't go into overthinking. What are your main thoughts about this? And that's the energy that you need to clear. See, I've noticed that like I said, I've seen people who've never experienced oppression, and when they were growing up, okay, and they never experienced it, so therefore for them it was easier for them to feel like they could do things. So it's not about comparing yourself to them; it is about choosing yourself and allowing yourself to have the programming where we don't hide behind epigenetics. We actually work through the nervous system to help shift it. How do we do this? Through kinesiology. There's other methods that I do. There's AFD tapping, although the method that I do goes even deeper. It goes deeper and it rewires all of it within minutes or within like the hour or a couple weeks, depending if you've experienced trauma. But you want to have a positive energy to you and all of those flows, and you want to create some magic, like some good stuff. So let me know if this is resonating. I would love for you to join my program Auspicious. We're going to be doing nervous system reprogramming work with based in kinesiology, where what we do is that we work through the key core fears or thoughts or beliefs that are running the show for you. Like I said, it could have been your parents if you're into epigenetics, or your forefathers, where they had an ominous energy where no matter what they did, it wasn't like life was fearful, right? And we program it into life is joyful, and then you program your nervous system to a joyful adaptability. We all got to adapt. That's just the truth. If you can hear me, please recognize what I'm saying here. We got to adapt. So staying stuck in our trauma or a lack of possibility, or just getting stuck on like on our attachment styles and just saying this is what I am, or whatever it is that you don't like change, you got to be able to adapt to change and adapt to change in a positive manner. If you are adapting to change in a negative manner, or if you're adapting to change because you sense a hostile environment around you, And then, you can your nervous system can get fixed, or it can just get like it can freeze. And then you're reading books, you're doing all the logical things, you're reading about the climate, you're reading about the government, you're reading about all these other things, but you can get stuck on fear. Okay, just because it didn't happen to you years ago, it could have happened after this 6 years of post isolation that we went through, because it was a shock to all of us. So creating a safe healing space where you can really feel like you can, helping your nervous system trust and let go, so that you can have your own energy field, you feel safe owning, growing, expanding. That will profit you more than anything else. So, like I said, you can join Auspicious. There's an opportunity for you to do three options. You can do one clearing nervous system session with me, which is based on kinesiology, where you can, it's like, I think it's 950 and US dollars. There's an option for you to join the group program, which is 444. And there's another option where you can do the group program plus series of private sessions with me. Typically, depending on the person, if they've experienced trauma or anything like that, it could even go up to 6 sessions. But I promise you that I can help you. It's not something that I can do and just record and have it up, because it does need to be present with me. But yeah, we're going to be working. We're going to be doing in the program angel clearing sessions, like pranic healing clearing sessions, helping you clear your field and also your nervous system, which is one of the things that really helped me through kinesiology, really get back together and to trust myself and trust my magnetism during the pandemic. And it's what's helped my clients as well. So if you want to know more, I'm also going to add my email there, or ask me some questions. The way in which we all profit is by helping humanity. See, these narcissistic personalities, they don't want you to profit. They want to put a bot before you. So, they are betting on you not finishing this video. They're betting on you being disassociated. They're betting on you just watching, binge watching like short form videos. They're betting on you feeling like you cannot focus or make a decision. That's how you stop profiting. You got to be clear minded, clear and present, and make powerful choices, and let those choices have a pull, a frequency of positivity that nothing really can break you. So, commenting on this video, sharing it would actually really help, because it actually profits you when somebody else profits. Because profit has to do with a cycle of abundance for groups of people. So it's not about you having to survive to profit, or having lost faith in the people that you're selling things to. You want to actually believe in people. It doesn't profit you to harbor negative feelings about people in your psyche. And that's actually one of the things that we have to focus on the most. You got to know that there's trustworthy, good, kind people out there that need to profit. If you're stuck on this, I survive a narcissist and now everybody's a narcissist and I cannot trust good, then you are blocking your profit. You've got to really be able to trust good. Not just think about it, but in your nervous system and in your emotional field, believe that, because you will attract people. People have, like, some of the people that I've seen recently have like a rage field. Okay, meaning they're so angry at what's happening in the collective. They're so angry that it basically, like, it's just not attracting the people. Okay, and then what I've also seen is, like, there's a lot of truth tellers who feel like they're going to be considered, what's the word, they're going to be considered, when people have these theories that are like fear based, and then they have a fear of being like a conspiracy theorist. So that's, it's like you can see the truth, but it's mixed with ominous energy. Minutes, like, if you're a spiritual person, if you like believe in the Bible, or you believe, like, or any spiritual text, and you're like, oh my god, the end of the times, and you're going into darkness, you don't even realize it. You got to be able to speak life onto people. You got to be able to see the good in people, right? You bring heaven to earth. It doesn't, like, I work with people from all religions. Even though I'm a Christian, like, I don't trip about that, because I love I love the messages. So ultimately, I hope that you can hear me. If you are a good person, if you're a light worker, and they're making you believe in the end of the times, they're making you believe in a bunch of stuff, you're allowing darkness to seep in and to siphon your frequency. So sooner or later, that does impact your results, or it can create debt or whatever. We got to move from ominous to auspicious, where God is working in your favor, and you got to be able to trust your community. You got to be able to help your community. And if these apps don't want you to think about other people, and they only want you to think about yourself and your problems, where you don't share, you don't comment, you think in fear or in panic, also that's impacting your profit. You want to profit, you want to help people. Profit happens in community. So if you have an attention span, that's funny. That's where Joe Michael saying, "I'm a 6 year old. You're only gonna think about my toy." That's the example that he's giving. So basically, comment, share, help, spread the word. It does help you for other people to profit. If you go into another space and you immediately assume that if somebody is like a store, the person is a crook for having a store, you're not wanting profit for the other person. Want it for the other person. Doesn't matter how they got it. You're going to be a wealthy millionaire, or you already are. Strengthen your consciousness. That's how you grow your adaptability and become a positive force or power for good. So if this is something that resonates, remember you can do like the private session, you can do the group session, or you can do the private with group. And I would love to join, and I would love to support